Namaste and welcome to our yoga flow for today that will be focusing primarily on stretching out the legs. I want you to begin in a kneeling position. When you're ready, we're going to lift up and push our hips forward, coming up into a high kneel. When you're ready, tuck the hips under and we're going to reach back for the heels or the ankles. We're just going to take a quick camel pose. This will stretch out the front of the body, particularly the quads and the hips, which are commonly tight if you work out a lot. Throw your head back as far as you can and open up through the chest. If you can't reach for the feet, then you can just place your hands on the back of the thighs. Hold for a few deep breaths, open through the chest, open through the hips. Hold for one more inhale. And a nice long exhale, slowly make your way back to that high kneel. Then we're just going to drop our hips down. Now part the feet so that the hips can come all the way down to the mat. We're going to take a nice big quad stretch. So once your feet are either side of your glutes, we're going to slowly recline down onto our forearms or stay up on our hands. Tuck the hips under and really engage the glutes, engage through the core. Again, you can throw the head back as much as you can and open through the chest as well. This is a really deep stretch, especially good for runners. It will also get into the hip flexors and the inner thighs, so just stay and breathe. Particularly in poses like these, when we're opening up the chest, it's really nice to come back to the breathing. Focusing on the inhale, the expansion of the lungs, and the contraction with the exhale. The sensations around the nose, and everything in between that your body feels in a pose this intense. With each breath, try and get a little bit deeper. Feel it a little bit deeper in the quads and in the hips. Close your eyes and just immerse yourself in the beauty of a posture like this. To come out of the pose, tuck the chin into the chest and slowly make your way up onto your hands. When you're ready, we're going to unfold the legs and stretch them out in front of us, making sure that you're pressing the knees towards the mat. Shake your legs out a little bit just to relieve some tension you may feel after that pose. Flex the feet, inhale, draw your hands to the sky. Then we're going to exhale and reach for the feet. If you can't reach all the way, I want you to place your hands underneath the knees, or if that's a little bit too beginner for you, you can reach for the ankles. If you want to advance, you can place your hands over top of the toes, or reach your hands around the feet, reaching for each other's fingertips. This is a really lovely pose to get deep into. Again, close the eyes and just focus on that breathing, getting your head towards the knees as much as you can. Slowly begin to bring your spine back to neutral, and when you're ready, we're going to bend the legs and join the feet together. When you meet me here, we're going to part the knees, place your hands onto the feet. Inhale, lift up through the chest, draw the crown of the head to the sky, and exhale, we're going to fold forward towards those feet. Keep your gaze slightly forward and your chest facing forward too, just to make sure we're not stretching the spine wrong. We want to make sure the spine is nice and straight, not curving in the lower back. This is an excellent stretch for the hips, but particularly the inner thighs, which I find hold a lot of tension, especially when I work out. So just again, come back to the breathing, close your eyes and immerse yourself in this posture, noticing how it feels, and with each breath, getting a little bit deeper. Slowly begin to rise out of that posture, and we're going to extend our legs out towards the side, coming into a straddle pose. Flex the feet, make sure the knees are pointing towards the sky, and when you're ready, we're just going to exhale and walk our hands forward as much as you can, folding in this straddle pose. If this is a little bit too much for you, you can slightly bring a bend into the legs, let the knees rise off the mat. But if you want to go even deeper, you can bring your forehead to the mat or even reach for each ankle, allowing your body to just fall forward with gravity. Close your eyes and feel this beautiful stretch in the inner thighs and lengthening through the legs. Slowly begin to rise out of this posture and just rub the inner thighs slightly just to relax them. When you're ready, join your legs together and we're going to make our way into downward facing dog. We want to make sure we're pointing towards the top of our mat, tuck the toes under, lift the hips towards the sky. Draw the abdomen towards the thighs, allow the heels to relax down to the mat. Open through the sacrum and feel that deep stretch in the back of the legs, particularly in your hamstrings. Lift your right leg up off the mat and join the heel so that it meets the left knee. We're coming into a figure 4. Slowly lower the left knee towards the mat, untuck the left toes. We're just going to hold here, kind of in a modified child's pose. This figure 4 variation is really great for that right glute as well as the right outer thigh. Bring your head down to the mat as much as you can, elongate through the spine and just breathe. Maybe pulse backwards and forwards just to find a deeper stretch in that glute. Hold for a few more moments, elongate through the spine here. This is a really deep stretch, so it can feel quite intense, but you're almost through. One more deep inhale and a deep goodbye exhale. Slowly lift back up into our downward facing dog, tuck the left toes under, hold for a breath, release the right foot down, then we're going to come into a 3-legged dog, right foot comes up into the air, bend that leg, circle that knee round, and then we're just going to step the right foot to the top of the mat. When you're in that low lunge, we're going to push our hips back. We're just going to take a nice big hamstring stretch in this Ardha Hanumanasana half split pose. Make sure your left knee is directly over the left hip. Make sure you're extending through the legs so that you're getting that optimum stretch in the right hamstring. Fold over that leg as much as you can, nose to knee if you can. Flex the right foot and really breathe into this posture. This is excellent for runners as well as those who work out a lot. It's a really great stretch for the calves and the hamstrings. Make sure especially that you're folding from the hips, not the lower back. We don't want to round through the back. Keep the spine nice and straight. Hold for a few more moments. Take one inhale and a nice big exhale. And as we exhale, we're going to push forward into a low lunge. Look forward, pick the back knee up off the mat, and then we're going to step back into our downward facing dog. Let's repeat that on the other side. So this time pick up the left leg, left heel comes to the right knee, hold for a breath, then slowly lower the right knee to the mat, untuck the right toes. We're just going to push back into the hips, coming into a modified child's pose. You'll really feel this in the left glute this time, as well as the left outer thigh. Keep flexing that left foot just to make this stretch a little bit deeper in that left glute. Elongate through the spine and draw the forehead to the mat as much as you can. Make sure that you're not rounding through the spine. If this is too much for you, you can stay up on your hands in tabletop posture. We're just going to hold for a few more breaths, really sinking into this posture and relieving any tension we may feel in the glutes. Take one more deep inhale and a nice big relieving exhale, and tuck those right toes under if they're not already tucked under, and slowly push our way back into downward facing dog. Hold here for a breath, then we're going to circle that left leg up into the sky, three-legged dog, circle the knee forward, step the foot between the hands, and we're going to push back into our half split pose. Straighten out through that left leg. Try and make sure that left leg is as straight as possible. Hips are square to the top of the mat. Right hip is directly over top of the right knee. And just hold here, bending from the hips again, not rounding through the spine. Nose to knee if you can. Flex that left foot just to get an even deeper stretch in the back of the legs. Hold for one more deep inhale, and on your exhale we're going to push forward, come into low lunge. When you're ready, take your gaze forward, tuck the back toes under, lift up the back knee, and we're going to step back into plank this time. Lower the knees to the mat, and we're just going to sink the hips towards the heels, coming into child's pose. This is our final resting posture, so close your eyes and really find a little bit of relaxation. This will feel really good on the legs, just relieving any tension we feel. Also great for the lower back and the spine. Come back to that breathing and notice all sensations that come with breath. The rise and fall of the chest, the rise and fall of the belly as well. The sensations around the nose and mouth. Just find a slight little bit of relaxation before we end the practice, just to make sure you're feeling calm and peaceful for the rest of your day. Take one more deep inhale through the nose and a nice long exhale through the mouth as we slowly rise back into our kneeling posture. Make your way into the center of your mat in a nice kneeling posture or an easy pose. Join your hands over heart center when you're ready and join me in saying Namaste. Bow down to your heart and thank yourself for this practice. Namaste.